Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Botello, and I'm excited to join with you on this beautiful Thursday night. At least where I'm at is absolutely gorgeous this evening. I hope you are doing fantastic. I know we've got a lot of people closing out the month. We've got so much excitement going on because we've talked about this. We are launching something big right here in the US and Canada, and I can feel it. Optimism is surging all throughout this country, through Canada, through a lot of different markets. But you know what I'm really seeing so much more right now is common sense is making a major comeback. And we're doing something great. I just think that people are dreaming again. We're helping people dream again. And my wife Tiffany and I, we've been married 22 years. I say that a lot on these Zooms, and I have to remember, make sure I say the right number. But we're just like a lot of you. We've got a couple of kids. My son Rocco just turned 10 on Tuesday, and my daughter Sophie is 16. So please keep me in your prayers. Just started driving, kind of crazy, but we're working hard to live our own American dream. And I believe a lot of other Americans are wanting to live that American dream. Canadians are wanting to live the Canadian dream. And what is that, right? It's really doing what you want to do with who you want to do it, when you want to do it on your own terms. And I just think that we've got the product. Timing could not be better. And we're doing something that I think things are coming together, and there's just some amazing things happening. Have been fortunate enough to be involved with some extraordinary businesses and products over the years, but I've learned you can really have the best leadership, the best marketing, the best strategy, but if that recipe is not put together in the right way, you don't necessarily hit your true potential. So we've created something I think is fun, shareable, and actually quite simple. There's a lot of science, but we're simplifying the science. But here's what we want you to feel comfortable with. At the end of this Zoom, if this is not for you, no worries. We'll still be friends. Our approach is simple. We know there's a lot to look at out there, and we want to earn your business. We want to create you as a raving fan of what we're doing. And we know that there's things out there that people try. Startups, they fail 96% of the time. And what we wanted was the ability to have the excitement of a startup, but with the stability of a long-term company. And that's exactly what we're going to share with you tonight. We've actually partnered with a stable 28-year-old international company that last year internationally has created about $200 million in sales. They've invested over $25 million in product research. And I just believe that when you see our patents, when you see our proven studies, you'll realize that there's just no BS here. And I'm at my home office in Florida right now, and as I think about and I look around at our books and our pictures and our life and our memories and our family, I I've had this insatiable desire to be successful all my life. And I started out, shout out to all of our Nashville, Tennessee people watching, but I grew up, my parents owned a very small jewelry business. They used to be teachers. They saved up enough money to buy a couple diamonds and a couple gold coins, and they went out and started their own business, and they were entrepreneurs. And we went to flea markets on the weekends, and Nashville, Tennessee had a flea market every fourth weekend of the month. And I would go out and I wanted to be successful. I wanted to buy baseball cards. That was success for a kid. And I would go around to the different booths of the vendors and I said, "Hey, are you hungry?" They said, "Yeah, I'm starving, but there's no way I can leave." I said, "Listen, you tip me, I'll go get your lunch and bring it back." So I've always had this want to help people, this want to be successful. And I made it out of high school. College wasn't really for me. But fortunately, I saw an infomercial on TV in college one night, and it was talking about a product that you could share with other people that would help them and you'd make money. So, of course, I did the only thing you could do as a junior in college with a nice GPA. I dropped out. I ended up in a one-bedroom apartment sleeping on an air mattress on the floor. But what I learned in that process is that if I watch other successful people and I model after them, I just do what they do, then I become more successful. And for the last 25 years, that's what I've been doing. We've been building systems and continuing to simplify systems for other people to be successful. So tonight, we're going to talk about something big happening in America, Canada, actually around the world, but we're focused on really bringing this insurgence, this launch to this market of America and Canada. And I'm going to share with you how you can be first to help launch this 28-year-old international company. It's a company I mentioned, super successful, 200 million last year. So you're talking about stability, right? This isn't a startup, but it has the feeling of a startup. It has the excitement of a startup because you can be really one of the first people in the Anglo market here in the US and Canada to go out and share this with the 300 million people in America, plus 17 other countries. Obviously, you've got our friends in Canada to the north. And at the end of the day, we've got a big vision. We're going to create over $1 billion in sales in the next 5 years. And that just simply means that a lot of lives are going to be changed. We're a biotech company first. We simply use direct sales to take our product and put it into the marketplace. Now, before I get too deep, I know when I talk about creating $1 billion in sales, that's a huge number. Most people can't fathom that. I used to not be able to fathom that. But in 2008, I actually partnered with, I think it was 18-year-old company at the time. They had a hot product, boring marketing, sales were dismal, but I saw something in it. And I thought with a few tweaks, we could sell a lot of their product. We did. 10 months later, we had created over $100 million in sales. I mean, several people became millionaires. It was an amazing experience. And, a couple years after that, I was at an event. I met somebody who he had a lot of ambition like me. They had already started a successful company 10 years prior, but hadn't quite hit momentum. They were doing well, but didn't quite hit that momentum yet. And we decided to team up. And with some extraordinary field and corporate leadership, a lot of smart strategy, and some timing. There's no question we had timing on our side. The next decade, we created over $5 billion in sales. A lot of people's lives changed. And several years ago, I stepped away from that position, wanted to spend more time with my family. At the time, it was about 3 years ago, my son was 6 going on 7, my daughter was 13, and we really wanted to create just an amazing experience with our family. And we did that. But then about a year ago, I started talking to a friend of mine because no matter what you do in life, you stay in touch with people and you're talking to people. And I was talking to my friend named Mauricio. And Mauricio had actually bought a company about 7, 8 years ago when it was already 20 years old. And that's the company we're going to talk about tonight. And he had been focusing. The company started in Canada 28 years ago, moved into the US, and then it just expanded naturally throughout a lot of Hispanic speaking markets, Hispanic speaking people. And predominantly it stayed there for the last several years, 28 years. And then Mauricio, he took it and expanded upon it into Spain, Europe, Colombia, Peru, a lot of different markets, but never really officially came back and launched the United States and Canada for the Anglo-speaking market. So when he and I were talking and I was sharing with him that I was open, he didn't know that. I didn't know that he had never officially launched that Anglo-speaking market. And we both kind of had this aha moment. So tonight, I'm going to share some information with you that I think is going to intrigue you. It intrigued me, I can tell you that. I actually am pretty excited on one portion. I'll share with you a personal story of something that happened to me just yesterday. And I've not shared this with anybody, but I can't wait to share that with you. But you see the logo here on the screen, and you see it on my hat, you see it on my shirt. And when I look at this, I feel like it embodies what we're putting together, what we're doing. To me, I see somebody's hands raised in victory, right? And I don't know if this victory is in money success. I don't know if it's in their health, if it's in their family, but it's them achieving a dream, right? Whatever that dream is for you. And that's the logo of our company and the company we're going to talk about tonight. So if we can go to the next slide. And I'm going to walk you through a few things this evening. And there's definitely a lot of information, but I don't want you to get caught up in a lot of the information. I just want you to kind of feel, can you relate with what we're talking about? Right? When I think about, can you relate? As I look through, my life and my day, what happened today, I can tell you so many people, if they were to take my schedule, they'd be exhausted even after a full night's sleep. Have you felt like that? Right? If you wake up in the morning and you're just like, oh, how am I going to start this day? Do you struggle to focus, think clearly? Are you constantly sick or feeling run down? I know sickness has just ran rampant through my kids' school. And I was talking to a friend of mine that was testing the product we're going to share with you here tonight. And he said, it's crazy. My kids got sick. The whole school seemed to get sick, but my wife and I didn't get sick. It's pretty crazy. But are you gaining weight? Are you losing muscle? Are you aging too fast? I love this little cartoon. We hear it all the time, right? We're going to add years to our life. Remember that 20 extra years you added through your life through all that clean, healthy living that you did? Well, these are them, because a lot of us didn't do that. A lot of us didn't make changes because changes are hard. Next slide, please. And as you go through life and you start to look and say, changes are hard, but then every single day things seem to get harder. And like, why is that? Why do things continue to get harder in our life? Well, we're under attack. And that is not a joking word or a line here that's just up there to get your attention. Like, it's reality. We're exposed, according to the experts, to over 700,000 toxins every single day. Our food, our water, our air. And here's the thing. There's a lot of great companies out there that try to help you get rid of toxins in your life. But the reality is you can do all of that. But I promise you, you're still going to go to your car and you're going to touch your car door. You're still going to pick up your phone and you're going to have things on the phone. Like, I just picked up my son and I was at lacrosse practice, and you got all these snot-nosed kids out there with all their stuff, right? My kids go to school. They're exposed to everything. My wife and I went to lunch today. We're exposed to everything that were there. But you think about everywhere you go every single day, you can't live in a bubble, right? So you better start from the inside and work your way out for this protection that we're going to talk about. And the problem is a lot of people take a bunch of supplements, but they just don't work, right? There's so many fake supplements on the marketplace. And don't get me started on the plastics and the pesticides and the preservatives that are just wreaking havoc on our system. If you go to the next slide, as we look at our daily lives, it's crazy what we're exposed to. But here's the reality. I love my family. I absolutely cherish every moment I have with them, right? Your family, don't they deserve the best? Like, the absolute best? And some people are like, well, how do I give them the best? Well, what does the best mean? Let's identify that. Like, to me, as I'm looking at my life, I'm 47. I got 2 young kids. I got an amazing wife, and I got a lot of friends, and I just want to have energy for the games, right? I want to be able to have the energy and the time freedom for the field trips and the late night talks. My 16-year-old, it's crazy to even say that, but she always seems to want to talk like right when I'm ready to go to bed. And I can tell you this, one thing I've learned in parenting is that when they want to talk, say yes. When they want to throw the ball, say yes, right? You don't have to do it for more than 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 20 minutes. You don't have to give hours of your time. But when they're ready, say yes. That means they need it. And too many times, I can tell you, years ago, I couldn't say yes. I was exhausted. Like, I couldn't go to the soccer games and stay awake. I mean, I remember my wife like just elbowing me, like, wake up. What are you doing? My body was exhausted. I mean, when I think about all the diseases out there and the things that we're exposed to, I wanted to have this like disease resistant immune system. You hear about these crazy stories in this world we live in. I just want to be protected for myself and my family. I want kids that are healthy. I want their brains focused. I don't want them, just helplessly tied to electronics. And that's what happens in today's world. So if those things are happening, we've got to have a way. If you go to the next slide, we've got to have a way to continue to protect ourselves. And next slide, please. And as we go through, they get it? Okay. As we go through the daily life that we have, there is some good news, because what I'm going to share with you tonight is how to exactly take back control of your health. Like, I want you to imagine for a second this. What if you woke up not exhausted, but you woke up and it's like, we all have that family that we look at, and like the husband is constantly he's just on, right? He's on, he's got all the jokes, he's got all the energy. The wife, you're looking at her and you're like, how does she keep up with all this? She's got 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids. How does she manage it all? And she always seems to have a smile on her face, right? Imagine if you were waking up feeling like that with all the unstoppable energy of the day. You were staying sharp, focused, really productive all day. Because there's a difference in going through the day and being productive through the day? What if you could keep out your kids, keep up with your kids, outlast them? That's what I do now. I mean, I outlast my kids. I get to say yes when they want something because I have the energy to be able to give them my time. But what if you're building that lean muscle and burning fat like you did in your 20s? Next slide, please. Um, there's a different way than what a lot of people realize. So I want to ask you, ever heard of glutathione? Glutathione. Most people haven't, but you probably should. As you go to the next slide, did you know your body cannot live without glutathione? You absolutely cannot live without glutathione. So what does that mean? What does it do? Well, it's your body's master molecule. And all that means is it's found in every single cell of your body. Every cell. Google how many cells there are in your body, right? You'll find it's a very large number. Glutathione is present in every single cell, and it's critical to good health. And see, your cells, they run on energy. And what glutathione does, it's that supercharger that supercharges your cells. It's your number one detoxifier, right? You are exposed to so many crazy things on a daily basis. Glutathione, it flushes out toxins before they do the damage to your body. It's your immune system's secret weapon. So more glutathione equals stronger immunity and much faster recovery times. So we go to the next slide. Like I want to walk you through the bad news first, because I always am under the impression that if there's bad news, it means there might be some good news. So let's talk about the bad news first. Glutathione's crashing. It's crashing. So all these great things that it does, it's crucial for your body. The problem is it's crashing. At age 40, your natural glutathione levels start dropping fast. And that one, by fast, I mean up to 50%. So I'm 47. That means that just naturally through the aging process, I can lose 50% of something that's present in every single cell of my body, which supercharges my energy, which helps my immune system, which helps me not be as sick, which helps me have anti-aging properties, not ages. And I'm losing 50% of it. That's why we age. It's why we have all these problems. By age 70, it can be 70% lower than when you were young. And here's the harsh reality. Like, in everything I'm saying tonight, let me be very clear. I'm giving you zero opinions. These are facts that doctors and researchers, that over 180,000 studies have been done just on PubMed.gov on what glutathione is and does. So I'm simply sharing some information with you that you may not have known. The decline in glutathione, it's directly linked to all chronic diseases. It accelerates aging, it weakens your immune system, and increases your inflammation. And you can Google, what does inflammation do with your body? Well, if you're losing glutathione and it's increasing your inflammation, I can tell you that's not a good thing. Next slide, please. But here's the interesting thing. You can increase your glutathione, but it's not what a lot of people think how to do it. So people think, well, how do I increase my glutathione? Well, you can eat it, supplement it, or inject it. But let me be very clear. If you want to try to increase your glutathione by eating a good diet, good luck. I tell you, I can't do that. And I know many of you can't do that. Why? Because you have to have a nearly perfect diet every single day, the perfect amount of proteins, the perfect amount of carbs. The sugars, forget about them, right? You've got to have the perfect eating plan every single day just to start to naturally build some glutathione. It's not going to happen, right? You can supplement it. Liposomal glutathione has been a big hit. I heard about this years ago. The problem is it breaks down before it gets to your cells. It breaks down in your digestive system. So the little bit that you get, it doesn't make your body make any more. It just gives you a little bit and then it's gone. Same thing for injectable glutathione. IV glutathione is very popular, right? It works very quickly. It gets into the system, but it's super short-lived and it sure doesn't increase your natural glutathione, which is what you want. So the only way you can really naturally increase your glutathione is to biohack it. And if you go to the next slide, what that means is that you want to turn on the switch of your own body's glutathione production. And there's really only one way to do that. The Body Shot, it is the world leader in patented glutathione research. You see, most supplements that you see on the market, they don't make it to where they need to go. Ours is completely different. We have bonded cysteine. It's an amino acid. And by it being bonded, it doesn't break down when you take it, and it doesn't kind of get all used up. It actually makes it all the way through your digestive system to reach your cells, which is where it needs to be to kind of flip that switch to start making your body make its own glutathione. So this is a special process that we have patents on. It's a game changer in the marketplace. We are a biotech company first. We've talked about that. And we use direct selling to get the word out around the world. So as we go to the next slide, I want to introduce you to the products. If you're new on here tonight and you want to see a little bit about what this is. So glutathione is an extraordinary product. I'm sorry, Immunocal is an extraordinary product. We call it the Body Shot. And we've got 3 versions based upon your lifestyle, your age, what you may be using. And I'll go through this quickly, but the blue is the original. So we have extraordinary tests and studies and patents on this product. It is all patented, and we're the only ones in the world that have this product. So you can't go out and get this from another company. This is our original. This is what my kids take. My son, I mentioned, is 10 years old. My daughter's 16. They take this every day. My wife's 90-year-old grandma. Like, this is a product that every single person can take. This is what all the science is based on. And it has the bonded cysteine that when you take it, it doesn't break down until it gets to the cells. My wife, she loves, and a lot of her friends, my wife is, she didn't have a problem telling you guys this. She's 43. She actually has a autoimmune condition called Hashimoto, and she has to be gluten-free, and she's lacking in a lot of minerals. And this is packed full of a lot of minerals. So it has the bonded cysteine plus extra with a little peptide, little creatine and minerals. And she loves this to really support that optimal hormonal health. She takes it every single day. And then the sport is for elite athletes like myself. And those of you that know me know that was a joke. But this is a great product. We have over 100 elite athletes. We'll talk about that in a second to take this. But this has the bonded cysteine in the original formula, but it's actually designed with a nitric oxide booster. Now, I'll just say this. The most sold nitric oxide product in the world is a little blue pill called Viagra. Obviously, we know what that does. Enhances libido, does a lot of great things. This is a product that has nitric oxide boosters in it. So definitely has a libido effect, but it's extraordinary for performance in sports. Great product. And what a lot of people do, if you go to the next slide, they use our boosters to really get I dropped one, to really get their benefits out of the Immunocal, and it tastes amazing. So every day, my kids, when they mix the original, they mix our organic greens and reds with that. So that's an extraordinary combination. My wife, she absolutely loves mixing the greens and reds with her platinum. Every once in a while, she'll mix our energy booster with this, but she loves to get her greens every single day. And then myself, almost every day like clockwork, I mix the energy booster because I love coffee. I love sipping on coffee. It's fantastic, but I take the sport every day, and I take this as kind of my second or third cup of coffee instead of, and it gives me just extraordinary natural energy. And one thing we do, we actually, if you get started with us and you want to use this product, we actually pay you for referring other customers. So you can make up to 20%. You can actually make a lot more than that if they pay retail, just by sharing this with other people. And if they end up wanting to buy the product and sharing it with others, we have tremendous commissions that you can make for other team members and customers. Next slide, please. As we look at the company is named Immunotec. It's a 28-year-old company that is absolutely extraordinary, that I think that many of you, as you do your research and look, you'll find what I find, and it's a company you can trust. You don't make it in business 28 years in 17, 18 countries without doing things the right way. Next slide, please. And what I found, what does that mean? Well, doing things the right way is investing back in the company. We've invested over $25 million in product research. We've got 79 global patents. And, when you think about the company itself, immunity from technology is really where our company gets its name, Immunotec. We're the #1 leader in glutathione research. And, there's been 45 years that's went into the research of how this product that we've created now 28 years ago, how it actually works, how the science goes into it. And recently we invested over $6 million into technology. Now, why did we do that? Well, we want you to have the state-of-the-art website with your mobile app to be able to share with others, be able to track your business. So it's an extraordinary mobile app and website that I think you'll find that's absolutely cutting edge. Next slide, please. So what I get excited about when I look at Immunotec, it really is a lot of things, but it boils down to one thing, and that is I don't have to question, does the product work? I don't have to sell the product. I don't have to share specifics about the product. The company has absolutely clinically studied this product, Immunical. It's been rigorously tested and 100% patented. We have 79 global patents, 92 published studies. 26 of those are gold standard studies, as high as you can get. 275 researchers, 169 institutions. And institutions, I'm talking Harvard, University of Kentucky, Nova University, McGill University in Canada, a great research institute in Montreal, at Denver University, over 20 countries. So you're talking about studies from all kinds of walks of life. You go to the next slide. These are just a few things that we've studied in the past few years, and we have a bigger list that we can share with you, but our research makes a difference. Because when you see that it's been researched, what does that mean? It's human research on humans, right? We do test double-blind placebo studies from universities. We don't do our own clinicals. We don't do our own studies in our own laboratory. I think when companies do their own studies in their own laboratory, it could be skewed, right? They may feel obligated to maybe make it look a little better than it is. What we do is we do tests. We've done tests on obstructive airway disease, on psoriasis, on erectile dysfunction, on liver disease, cystic fibrosis, Parkinson's. I mean, you can go on and on. You can read the list, autism, asthma in children. And what we do is we do the test. For instance, we did a study recently on autism in children from 3 to 5, right? Children from 3 to 5, they're not going to make up a story when they're just taking this because they're part of a study. And you have some kids that take our product, other kids that don't. And what we found was that glutathione levels were absolutely increased and the benefits were extraordinary. We are not involved in the study. The university did the study. They report the findings. We simply report that to you. So it's a very different approach to health, to wellness. And I think that, the thing that stays with me a lot is that I think this product is like a great idea to take. And idea, it really builds your immunity. D, it's a detoxer. E, as you continue to go through your day, you have enough energy to really function and outlast your kids maybe. And then A, it's that anti-aging. It works against what all the environments that's coming to you. I just recently, I said I was going to share something personal with you. I just got some tremendous blood work numbers back. I struggled with high triglycerides and a sluggish liver for just a long time for whatever reason. I probably don't eat as well as I should, and that probably affects both of those things. I've changed absolutely nothing in my life. I've probably worked out less. I've probably ate worse because, the last 6, 8 months we've been working on this launch. And what's extraordinary is that I've struggled with this for years, like high numbers of triglycerides, sluggish liver, working on it, trying so hard, and nothing was able to break through. But I started really focusing on not missing a day of Immunocal to build up my natural glutathione levels. And I went and got my blood work back, and the doctor goes, "What have you done different?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? I've done absolutely nothing different. I wasn't thinking at the time I'd done different because I've been taking this product now for months." And she said, "I've never seen your numbers look so good with your liver numbers as well as your triglycerides." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." And then I realized the one thing I have done different is that I'm not missing a day of my Immunical. And you can do your own research. I've shared some information with you about that glutathione levels when it goes up. But when you look at all of these things here that we've studied, plus, close to 100 now, 92 published studies, glutathione does extraordinary things. Our product does not have glutathione. This is not a glutathione supplement. This is a product that has bonded cysteine that helps your body naturally turn on the production of its own glutathione. So it's helping your body do what it's supposed to do anyway, and it's the only patented way in the world to do that. Next slide, please. So as we kind of walk you through, who we are already, I want to let you know, just from a credibility perspective, this is designed at such a high level. This is designed for like a Ferrari, but it's more affordable like a Ford, right? So we have 100 professional athletes, 5 countries that these athletes are all in, 3 professional teams that use our product. And when you look at the results that they're getting, they can take the best products in the world. They can literally afford to put the best in their body. They have to put the best in their body to perform the best, to be an Olympic athlete. I think we had 6 Olympic gold medals at the last Olympics. They put the best in their body because that's their job, and they put our product into their body, and we don't pay them a dime to do it. So we've got extraordinary information on our athletes that we can share with you. As we go to the next slide and we start to kind of go into some of this end information, the US and Canada beta launch, it's fully begun. We are the world's only patented glutathione precursor. I mentioned we have 100 studies, and we've already sold over 550 million pouches of this around the world, but the US and Canada, absolutely untouched. So I want to share with you, next slide, please, how you can get started with us to try the product for yourself. But I got to ask you the question at this point, you got to decide, are you in? Right? Do you want to try this? Do you want to share this with other people? I think most of you would say yes. So next slide, please. What we've put together is some different packages for you to be able to try. You got to decide, do I want to try this myself? Do I want my spouse to try this? Do I want my kids to try this? I can tell you, my kids every single day, they ask me like, "Dad, give me that body shot." And they take it. It's only a couple ounces of liquid, by the way. This isn't a shake. This isn't something that you have to have a blender and mix all this up. When you think about this packet, I mean, this is the smaller than my hand. It only has a very small amount of fine powder, and you mix it with liquid, whether it's water, whether it's juice, and then you shake it up. It's a James Bond product. It's shaken, not stirred. You don't mix it up. You don't froth it. You don't do that. That actually breaks down some of the bonding of the cysteine. And the whole point of the product is to stay together to make it through your digestive system. So what's cool is that we have these packages that you can use for yourself. You can decide what products you want to try. You can share them with others. We've got the Pro Pack for $199 for 500 PV. That's just a number that we have in our compensation plan. For those of you that are serious, you're kind of business minded, and you may want yourself, your spouse to take this. Maybe you want to sell a couple to your neighbors and let them try this, or maybe you've got some friends that you're like, "Ooh, I saw some things on that studies, and I've got a family member that may want to try this," and you want to recoup some of your investment and sell that to them. You go with what we call the Silver Shortcut Pro Pack. It's $549, but you get a ton of product, right? You get 2 full months supplies of the original. You get 2 full months supplies of the platinum. You get 2 full months supplies of our greens and reds booster. Plus, we give you the mixing cups, and we give you our special product we like to call, the Happy Pill, which is Sunray, which is a great vitamin D booster you take once per week, very special. And then those of you that say, "Hey, I want to look at this as a business," maybe you have more family, maybe you have a situation where you're going to share this with other people. The Everything Pro Pack, you get everything that is talked about plus a lot more. You get all the Immunical franchise products, and you get some of our different flavors, and you're absolutely going to love that. So you can pick a pack, what's best for you. We've got these specials going on. Today's the 27th, I believe, tonight and tomorrow. As you go to the next slide, I want to kind of close with this for those of you that are interested in making money with us. Sometimes making money scares people off, and they drop off the Zoom, and that's okay. But I would say give me 60 seconds. Let me share one simple thing with you. If you are like me, everywhere you go, people are talking about, making money, the economy. How can I make a little bit extra here? How can I make a little bit extra here? My kid's school, my kid's sports. I bought my kid a new helmet for his particular sport. It's crazy how much this stuff costs. Well, if you find a product that has all this different science with it, and it's giving people extraordinary results, you may run into somebody that may say, hey, I'd like to try that. We have what we call a 1K club action plan. And it just shows you a very simple way for you to put over $1,600 into your family's budget by sharing this with 3 personal customers. And then maybe you got 3 friends on social media that want to share this as well. You get 3 of them selling this product on social media. They each get 3 customers. You follow the system, it opens up an extraordinary amount of compensation for you. But if you just do this, if you refer 3 customers to our company, 3 people who refer 3 customers each, and then you simply just help them remain customers. And they do that for 2 months after you originally enroll them into our company to buy product. We pay you over $1,600. I don't know about you, but that's a fantastic amount of money in your first 3 months trying a product. You're basically getting your product for free, plus you're making over $1,000 profit. It's a fantastic way for you to get started, try something for yourself, share it with others. Next slide, please. So what I want you to do is join the beta launch with us. We're actually doing some extraordinary things right now. We have 10,000 bonus cruise credits. You're like, what do you mean? We're talking about a cruise now. I thought we were talking about a product. Well, we've rented a whole cruise ship out. We like to have a lot of fun. That ship right there, we actually rented that particular ship. And we are going, excuse me, on a 6-night cruise later this year. And we'll leave out, I believe it's in October of this year. So you have until July to qualify. And how do you qualify? Well, you're simply going to buy the products yourself. You're going to share them with some other people. And through your efforts, we show you how you can earn a cruise. Absolutely free, no strings attached. The whole boat is going to be people that are taking our products, using our products, and sharing our products. So we actually give you a 10,000 bonus cruise credits for those of you that get started today and tomorrow. And then you get huge discounts from retail pricing. You actually, if you join the beta launch, you get what we call our consultant pricing, our pro pricing. Retail is 30% above that. So you're saving over 30%. You get a free technology suite. You get a full-blown website app that really does a lot of the business for you. And shipping's absolutely included. There's no additional shipping. We don't charge shipping. It's included when you buy your pro pack with us. So, get a jump start. Get started. You get 10,000 cruise points. Why not? Next slide, please. So as you go through this evening, that's just the dates that we're going. We're going to Panama. We're going to Aruba. We're going to Curacao. But you can go to the next slide. That's okay. $1 billion company I mentioned earlier, and I'll end on this. I said the next 5 years we're going to do $1 billion. There was a guy I heard in my career when I was in college. A guy told me, he said, if you have nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain, if successful, by all means, try and do it now. This is a product that everybody wants. This is a product that most people need. They don't just want it, they need it. And I can tell you from personal experience, you give this 2 weeks, 3 weeks yourself, you'll be blown away by what this product is doing for you. If you have kids, I cannot encourage you enough. Put your kids into a simple regime, taking our original blue and reds and greens, organic reds and greens. It's fantastic for them. They mix these together with just a couple ounces of water. You shake it up in the cup that we give you, slam it back, done. They love it. They'll thank you for it. I've never had a product that my little boy comes up to me and says, can I have another one? Like at night, it's like a sweet treat almost, yet no sugar. So it's fantastic to get into their bodies. I can tell you, if you have someone that's struggling with health, that's in their older years, this is a great product to get them started on. Fruits and greens, they're probably not getting enough fruits and greens in their diet anyway. Ladies, I can tell you, if you're watching, this is a must for you. This has extraordinary minerals built in. The way that we take this to $1 billion is by each and every one of you sharing with other women that are lacking minerals. They get amazing optimal hormonal support from taking this. And men, I know I jokingly talk about libido. This is extraordinary. The energy that you get, the natural heart health that comes with the nitric oxide boosters, you'll thank me for it. It is amazing. And coffee is fantastic. I love it, but this is a natural, pure energy that I can tell you. I mean, it's 9:44 at night, and I could go for the next several hours. I feel amazing. I've had this one time this morning. I think I took it today about 10 o'clock a.m., and I've had an extraordinary day. If you go to the next slide, it just ends with the company information. I would recommend that, if you're looking for a company, if you're looking for a place that you can kind of plant your flag, if you're in the US, Canada, Italy, France, the UK, Mexico, Colombia, Peru, we're opening a lot of different markets. I think I said the UK. We're going to build a fantastic global business, but we're focused right now on the English-speaking Anglo market, right? We're really launching here into America, into Canada, and we've got one heck of a product, an extraordinary way for you to share this on social media, through our website, make a little extra cash, but most importantly, make a difference in somebody's life. I always like to say this as we look at kind of leaving us for this evening, and that is, you're not joining something here. You're not just selling something. You're really a part of something. Those of us that had the pleasure of being in Houston, Texas this last weekend, you saw this is different. This is absolutely different. And we hope what you will do is, if you haven't already taken advantage of the timing with our beta launch getting started, number one, do that tonight. Number two, this coming Monday evening, we're going to do another Zoom like this. And I want you to invite two people. Invite two people. When you get that link, you don't have to keep that link a secret. You can share that with other people, bring them to this Zoom, let them hear about it. I took 46 minutes tonight. I'll do my best to cut it down a little bit more than that on Monday, and then again next Thursday. And next week, we're also going to start additional training on Wednesday. So watch your email. If you're not getting your email for whatever reason, make sure you get on our Facebook group. We have team Facebook groups. We have official Creating Champions Facebook group that you can get a lot of details on there. But we're excited about what we're doing. Close out the month. Those of you that are ranking up, I talked to somebody just before this call. They earned over $2,000 their very first week just in our business builder bonuses. So I can tell you this, it works. It absolutely works. As you go through our system, it is producing money. It is creating champions in families, and I hope that you're one of them. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. And we'll talk to you soon. You got a couple days to close out the month. Have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.